We don't have any plans for lunch. Any more specific? We can go to Hamburger America if we want to do.
Okay. You're going to have to be okay with this happening a lot. So I just got back from New York City, where I went to go shoot photos and video with my friend Matt for his food truck, Maddie's Patties. And we also ate a lot. Let's start from the beginning. I don't really do freelance photography work anymore. Weddings, real estate, engagement photos, portrait shoots, all that stuff are kind of a thing of the past for me. As I've said before, most of what I do is hang custom commercial prints or sell my images directly. It's just always hard for me to create work when I'm not super connected to what I'm making. And I just, after years of doing that kind of freelance work, I just got tired of not being proud of the work I was putting out. So the rare times I have client work that I'm shooting for, it's client work where I am on the same wavelength as the client. I'm able to have creative freedom and able to take the big swings that I want to take, and that's because they are with me on that. Which is why for the past year, I've been shooting for a smash burger truck called Maddie's Patties. They're a local food truck in my town here in South Carolina. Our goal is basically to make fun and interesting stuff for social media.
Looks like me and Vincent caught you boys at breakfast. Sorry about that. What you having?
Hamburgers.
Hamburgers! The cornerstone of any nutritious breakfast.
And let the chips fall where they may growth-wise. We just want to inject personality into the brand. And it's made more fun by the fact that they have a killer product. Which is a no-brainer to sell. And we've had a lot of fun over the past year doing just wild off-the-cuff stuff that we just want to see be made. Like a video of how to make a smash burger using an old 90s camcorder.
This is very hot. I'm being told I need to eat this for the camera. So if I burn my mouth, this is all Will Malone's fault. Oh wow, it's hot. It's good, but it's hot.
Or a night shoot for a magazine ad where we just use my Olympus stylus and some Kentmere 400 grainy film at night. More elegant chef's table style photos on Portra 400 for their fine dining steakhouse event. Or some nasty flash merch photos. And they're working on this cool New York City style event, and we needed some New York City photos and video for the content we'll be making to promote that event. So that's right, we basically just went to New York City to shoot B-roll and photos, essentially. But also we built the skeleton of our trip around eating. You made it.
We made it.
First stop.
Let's go get a bagel.
That's good. Okay, got my Polaroid. What are you rocking?
The Ricoh GR2.
There we go.
Yeah.
What are you shooting?
People, man. Gotta shoot the people. Not like that, but
Yeah,
like this.
like that. Yeah, we need more food.
We need more food.
That the bagel was just an appetizer.
Yeah. It's an aperitif, I believe the Italians call it.
Yes.
It for hamburgers. And if it weren't for him, truly, Maddie's Patties wouldn't exist.
All right. Was this worth it? I had to ask you why you had food in your mouth.
I just prefer it.
That's cool. Awesome, thank you. I kind of hate this. Truly, Times Square is the Vegas Strip of New York City.
Yeah, just less gambling.
Yeah, it is an abomination.
There's nothing real here.
There's nothing real here.
No.
We just ate an incredibly real meal,
We did.
and it was not at Margaritaville.
No.
Believe it or not.
No, it was at Outback.
Yeah. We have to shoot footage regardless. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
I actively avoid this place anytime I come here. And I've been lucky going to New York City because every time I've gone, it's been perfect weather. I was not so lucky this time, though.
Not wet enough yet.
We need to find coffee.
We need to find a lot of coffee.
We found a place to sit. I'm gonna have to go to the hotel room and dry my shoes off with a hair dryer or something.
Someone didn't bring Vortex line shoes.
I didn't. I decided packing light was more of a virtue than being prepared. Maybe next time I'll bring some waterproof shoes. Or, rain gear of any kind. This was the first New York Strip where I struggled to shoot photos just cuz. I had goals to shoot photos for Maddie's Patties, of course, for this project. I shot photos for my good, bad coffee series, which is a thing I guess I do now. And then I was also keeping up with the Polaroid 365. Wandering around shooting random stuff has just gotten harder for me. I feel like I need to be working towards a project goal a lot lately because if I shoot random photos, they end up just floating around in a folder somewhere. So I've really become like a project photographer that focuses on a particular goal rather than shooting random shots and hoping to get a good one. And I don't know if that's just maturity or experience, or if I've just spent so much money on hard drives to store a bunch of photos that I don't really care about.
We just reloaded film. What are you rocking?
Say old stock Fuji Super Rico 100. I know some film nerds might be like, no, that's not right. They don't make that.
They say that?
That's what they say. But I don't remember what I put in this camera 5 minutes ago.
I just put in some Ilford XP2 at 400. Kind of a black and white day, you know?
It is. So I decided to shoot 100 ISO color film that probably expired 14 years ago. So
Makes sense.
Because I'm intelligent.
Makes sense to me.
I haven't been in a big film mood lately, and I think that's largely because the Polaroid 365 is taking up all of that space, financially, but also just in my mind. So I haven't really loved shooting film. That said, I did bring 3 rolls of film with me on this trip. I started off with some Cinestill 800, which looks great in New York City. I then went to some Ilford XP2, which has become kind of my new favorite black and white film. And then I also shot some Portra 800.
How's it going?
Not good. I'm not a pro like Will Malone. I'm just a guy that runs a food truck.
Yeah, but your food truck's got some sweet merch.
It does, yeah. MazePace.com. Get one of these great crew neck sweatshirts. So you got the Cinestill logo. Alright. All set, Will. What are we shooting next?
For the Good Bad Coffee series, I've been shooting mostly with my Fujifilm X-E4 because I kind of want them to look overly clinical and clean. I kind of want them to be product photos of like not great coffee. That was just kind of how I see it. Honestly, I probably should just start shooting them with an iPhone, but you know, I was using my Fujifilm for these photos so far. There was a point years ago where I felt like I was falling out of love with photography. I was shooting weddings, engagements, and all that kind of stuff, and I just felt like a photo factory. And a lot of the photographers I would meet in the freelance photography world were cynical and jaded because of the oversaturation of the industry and kind of how tough it is to make it as a photographer nowadays in some ways. And so I started to feel like photography wasn't really for me anymore because I didn't like what I was making and I didn't love the worldview about the photography world that was developing in me. But then there was a point where I just started making stuff I wanted to make. I started pulling threads that I was curious about, and more interesting work started to come my way. I realized that focusing on interesting and creative work is the difference between success and failure in the photography world. It's risky to think outside of the box in some ways, especially when bills are due, but in other ways it's actually more risky to just settle for making just boring, uninteresting stuff when you have things like AI and whatever starting to kind of take over. So I'm thankful for businesses like Maddie's Patties. We live in a place in South Carolina where a lot of businesses settle for the same old mediocre stuff. And the fact is that the social media space especially is just way too saturated to keep just putting out boring stock photos and trendy videos. So for a burger truck in South Carolina to go out of their way and see the importance of adding personality to their brand to enhance their amazing product is really encouraging. Those are the kind of people I want to work with. And quite honestly, those are the kinds of people I want to be friends with. And with AI and the democratization of creative tools, I feel like personality is everything. You got to take everything you love and mix it around in a KitchenAid and apply it to your brand and or work. And honestly, a world where I continue to grow based on doing stuff that I find fun sounds like a pretty cool world to me.